One of the most tragic and mysterious cases in French criminal history is that of 4-year-old Grégory Villemin, whose body was pulled from the Vologne River, located in the east of France, in the autumn of 1984. Following an investigation, authorities revealed that the young boy had drowned, yet it had been no accident. A truly haunting case, full of horrifying and complex twists and turns, which remains as perhaps the most infamous murder in modern France. Tonight on Dark Curiosities, the unsolved murder of Grégory Villemin. It was the 24th of August 1980 when Jean-Marie Villemin and his wife Christine welcomed a son, who they named Grégory. Grégory's parents were known to be very successful in both their professional and personal lives. Jean-Marie worked as a supervisor at a factory which produced car parts, and Christine was a factory worker. In 1983, he and his wife purchased a chalet, and according to some sources, the couple owned 2 cars and high-quality furniture. All in all, they were doing very well for themselves and seemed like a perfectly content little family. Sadly, their happiness would not last long. In the years leading up to 1984, the couple had been unsettled by anonymous phone calls and letters, all of which consisted of threats of revenge against Jean-Marie. This mysterious person appeared to have in-depth knowledge about the Villemins and their extended family. In 1983, 3 threatening letters, 2 of which were typed and 1 of which was handwritten, were sent to Jean-Marie and his parents, Albert and Monique Villemin. Soon, the unidentified man or woman would be dubbed Le Corbeau, the Crow by French media, a slang term used to describe an informant. Disaster struck on the evening of the 16th of October 1984 when Christine and Jean-Marie experienced every parent's worst nightmare. At 5:32 p.m. on that October night, Grégory's uncle, Michel Villemin, answered a call to an unfamiliar voice which stated in a neutral, loud and nervous tone, "I got revenge. I got the boss's son, and I put him in the river." At around this time, Christine Villemin stepped outside to retrieve her son from playing in the garden as the temperatures were dropping. She had left him playing by a mound of builder's sand beside the house and had earlier given him a woolen hat to wear to keep him warm. She was panicked when she realised that her son was nowhere to be seen. Frantic, she jumped into her car and began searching the streets of L'Éponge-sur-Vologne. Asking around, it appeared that not a single person had seen Grégory. Authorities swiftly confirmed that Grégory was now classed as a missing child. Sources vary on the precise time, but between 9:15 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. on the 16th of October 1984, just hours after vanishing, the body of Grégory Villemin was pulled from the icy waters of the Vologne River, which lay approximately 7 kilometres from the Villemins' home. He was found wearing a blue anorak, his knitted hat was pulled over his face, and his hands and feet were bound by rope. His neck also had rope tied around it. Grégory was laid to rest a few days later, some even speculating that the murderer was among the mourners. On the day of their son's death, a letter was posted to Jean-Marie and Christine. Again, sources differ on exactly what was said. It was typed out and supposedly said, "I hope you will die of grief, the boss. It's not your money that will bring back your son. This is my vengeance, you bastard." The following morning, on the 17th of October, Christine and Jean-Marie received yet another letter saying, "Your son is dead. I have been avenged." Bernard Laroche, who was the cousin of Jean-Marie Villemin, was identified by handwriting experts and his 15-year-old sister-in-law, Muriel Boll, as the person who wrote these messages. His sister-in-law claimed she had been with LaRoche that night, who picked up Grégory, and the two of them travelled to the river, with LaRoche returning to his sister-in-law alone. LaRoche was taken into custody for a short while until his sister-in-law retracted her statement and he was released. Jean-Marie was enraged by this and publicly declared that he would kill LaRoche, and he did indeed stay true to his word, murdering him with his hunting rifle on the 29th of March the following year. He was convicted and served 5 years in prison. Also, during the spring of 1985, other handwriting experts suggested that they strongly believed that the handwritten letters were in fact penned at the hand of Grégory's mother, Christine, who at this point was pregnant with a second child. 3 locals believed that they saw Christine at the post office the day before Grégory's death, and the rope used to tie Grégory's hands and feet was actually found in the cellar of the Villemin chalet. With another twist in the tale, during December of 1986, Christine Villemin was charged with the murder of her son. Due to lack of evidence, however, Christine was released in early 1993. In 2004, Jean-Marie and Christine were awarded €35,000 in compensation for the failures during the case and the trauma they suffered. In 2000, 2008 and 2013, multiple DNA tests were conducted on the evidence found at the crime scene. A stamp found on an envelope for one of the letters was examined, but the results were inconclusive, as were the tests on the other letters, the rope, Grégory's clothes and shoes. With progression in handwriting analysis, authorities identified the handwritten letter of 1983 to Jacqueline Jacob, who was married to Monique Villemin's brother, Marcel. The Jacobs were arrested in June 2017, as well as Jean-Marie's brother Michel's widow. Police state the reason for taking them into custody was suspicion of complicity in the murder, failing to report a crime, or helping a person at risk. Following the 2017 arrests of Grégory's great-aunt and great-uncle, as well as an aunt, police stated that they still have no definitive answers as to who killed Grégory and why. However, they are confident in that they have found new suspects who are currently being investigated. The magistrate leading the initial investigation was found dead in June 2017, the cause of death being suicide. Jean-Michel Lambert had written to a local newspaper before his death, citing his reason as being the increased pressure as a result of reopening the case. L'affaire Grégory, as it was known in France, remains to this day as a case which fascinates and terrifies. According to the newspaper Le Parisien, Grégory Villemin's name was published in over 3,000 newspaper articles, 50 university research projects, a television film, and 15 books. A young boy torn from life at such a tender age, leaving a broken family with nothing but memories.